Like 20.
20? Are they typically maybe a bit older guys?
Yeah.
Late
Or the
20s,
weirdos.
early 30s?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
men will spoil women. Women don't spoil men, generally speaking.
Okay.
What's this? You disagree?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe general.
Who should pay on the
generally
first date,
speaking.
men or women?
Oh, geez.
Who should pay on the first date?
Whoever asked.
Okay. Who should pay on the first date? The man or the woman?
Everyone has their own opinions on like,
Whatever your opinion is fine. I'm just asking you.
me personally
Yes.
going out on if somebody say I was asked him out on the first date, then I would pay because I'm asking him to come
Sure.
to dinner with me. But vice versa, same thing goes for him. So like if he asks me to go out, then I would expect him to pay because he's inviting me somewhere.
Okay, you said whoever pays.
Whoever
right?
asked,
Whoever,
yeah.
sorry, excuse me. Whoever asks should pay. What about you? Same?
Same, yeah.
Okay.
I'm very pro on splitting it, but I've also I've been the one to ask out the guy and I've been the one to pay, and I
Okay,
have
sure.
no problem. But I think splitting is good.
Sure. Who should be the one who asks?
It doesn't matter.
Hold on. I want you to go first.
I mean,
Who should be the one
there's
who
no.
asks?
I don't feel like there's any rule. There's no should.
Okay.
You know.
How if you had to give us a range? How many first?
Me personally,
how many first dates have you been
It's going to be
on?
very rare for me to go
okay.
out of my way and ask somebody out. Like I want to be pursued. That's just a personal
So
preference.
you want the guy to ask you?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also have been in my long relationship. We split everything down the middle all the time. I just bought in the relationship that I was in, previously, I, for his birthday, bought us a 1 week vacation to Oahu.
That's
And,
wonderful. That's great.
You know, I spoil my boyfriends too. I don't just expect to be spoiled. I feel like there needs to be a give and take.
Okay. So you said that how if you had to give it a range, how many first dates have you been on? 100?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I know that there's nothing wrong with how many dates that I've been on.
Just
it
first
doesn't-
dates.
I don't.
Do you think it's over 100? So you're 30.
I don't know
that's
if I would call every time I hang out with somebody new a date. You know what I don't really.
Let's say the first instead of dates, let's call it the first time hanging out with someone new. How many times has that occurred?
I mean, probably. I mean, I've been dating since I was 15.
Sure, yeah.
It was 15 years ago. So
200,
maybe 100.
100.
Anywhere from 100.
Okay, so of those 100, let's say, how many of those did you initiate?
I don't think I've ever initiated a first date
Oh,
or
so
the
Ah,
first time
okay.
hanging out with somebody.
So just to bring it back to the who should pay thing, you said that whoever asks should pay. However, of the 100 first dates or whatever you want to call them that you've been on, you've not initiated any of those. Ergo, the guy should pay. The man should pay.
There go in my situation, the man should pay. Yes.
Right, because you say whoever asks should pay, yet you've never asked a guy out on a
Because
date.
I don't have to ask guys out. on
Precisely.
dates.
Women don't have to ask
But
men
they
out.
could.
She's also speaking
could.
as an individual because I've had the completely opposite experience.
Okay, but I would say you're an outlier. I would say most women are more like her than they are like you.
Okay, but why can't most women be like me?
I agree. Why don't women initiate more? Because they don't have to. They have the privilege and the benefit of not having to.
I think that's just again personal preference. I think that's straight up
It's
just
not
up to the
it's not personal
Okay,
preference.
I think it's up to the woman, right?
Sure.
And that's the thing. Sure, maybe they don't have to, but just pursue other women that would want to be willing to give you more. If that's your problem.
Men don't have the privilege of waiting around letting women come to them. If men did do that, they would die virgins.
I reach out to men all the time. I'll shoot my shot.
You're an outlier.
I'm an outlier.
You're an outlier.
Yeah, but I'm still in the conversation, so I still count. You know, even if I am a minority.
I'm not excluding
I
you
know
from the conversation.
I am an outlier, but my experience is still representative of a lot of other women who are just like me.
Let me ask you a question.
She is
Sure.
right here, and that's 50% of this whole squad right here.
Okay, but that doesn't
Yeah.
represent 50% of all women.
It doesn't. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
I'm saying we're presenting
But-
50% of the women right here.
But just because you guys, move a certain way doesn't mean that that's going to be representative
I think
of all
you're
women.
like trying to create this like fake issue, right? That, like
There is-
men don't have the privilege of women reaching out to them, which
It is a
just
privilege.
seems like maybe women haven't reached out to maybe you. I've reached out to plenty of men. I will slide in a guy's DMs. I do not give a I swear to God, a lot, like Odell Beckham Jr., I'm sure women throw themselves at him all the time. And if it's a
Did
guy
he-
at a coffee
you
shop.
DM'd Odell?
No, I don't
He
really.
DM'd you?
No, I'm saying.
I'm just
I'm saying
confused
as an
why.
example, like women do shoot their shot all the time. If I
Yeah,
see a
they'll
cute,
shoot their shot with
like,
a guy
we
who's
had,
a
like-
NFL player.
No, dude, we were at
Like,
In-N-Out.
Bro,
We-
you give Odell. How
Bro.
about the normal guy that works at Starbucks?
That's the guy I go for.
We were at In-N-Out and we were
fucking-
at the drive-thru, and the drive-thru guy was super
pretty
cute.
cute.
And I was like, "What's up, cutie pie?" And he was like, "Oh my God." And
I
I
think it's funny though too because like guys do not get hit on nearly as much as
Yes.
women.
yeah, like we can
And
agree
when
that
you hit on a guy, personally, me, I love making the first move because when you hit on a guy first,
because they're like,
he's
"Whoa,
shocked.
no
he has no idea.
way."
It's so fun.
But the question isn't like, have you hit on a guy? It's have you asked a guy
Yeah,
out
I have.
and
I
initiated?
like asking. Like I've
Yo,
asked
clown
guys-
world
Can I
in
tell
the
you
chat.
a story?
Clown world in the chat.
Brian,
Spam
can I
that
tell
shit,
you a
boys.
story?
I told you
you.
I have multiple
No,
times.
I'm not in response to you.
Okay.
It's
I
just
want
like-
to
It's like
tell you a story.
you can
Hold-
just
hold on.
pretend that
One sec,
women
one
don't
sec.
do that, but I think it's
not
maybe
Kazumi,
these guys.
Kazumi.
You know, like women. 3 out of 4 women here continually hit up guys. Sorry.
Okay, but
So
Kazumi, you are an outlier in numerous ways. You make
are
$3 million
is
a
she
year.
an outlier? She's a pretty woman in college who hits on guys
Thank you.
and goes on
But
dates.
she's an outlier too.
Okay, but how are 3 of us outliers and
Because
one
we're
of us
just looking
not?
at us right here though, like majority of women do not make the first move on guys because majority of women feel like a man should come up to them first, like a man should spoil them first. Like we just have like a different
I
like
think
you know?
I think that in society's views, yeah, sure, most women don't do that. But I guess the reason that we're saying that, hey, yes, we are women and we enjoy making the first move, we enjoy initiating, we enjoy doing the things that the man is traditionally supposed to do.
Women-
We're just saying that to give the people watching the perspective that like life is not just a box that you choose to put yourself in. Like there are so many different things going on.
The
and
exception does not make the rule. The exception does not make the rule. It is the exception when a woman initiates. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it is the exception. I'm speaking in generalities here. Now, Kazumi, you said that, well, maybe, it just doesn't happen to you, Brian. Well, first off, you are right. It doesn't happen to me. I would tell you this, though. My looks equivalent, my, say, status equivalent, if a girl had my following and was my looks equivalent, I'd give myself, well, we could do the rating later, but she's getting like 20 DMs a day from dudes. I almost never get DMs. And here's the thing. Average women will get DMs. Average men will never in their life get a single DM from a girl. If a girl does, in the rare instance that it happens, does approach a guy, she's going to go for like the guy she really, really likes. Whereas guys are going to shoot their shot at like girls that are their equivalent, or even girls that are like looks wise below them.
I think also women are socialized to not do the first move because they don't want to seem slutty. They don't want to seem easy. They don't want the guy to be like, oh, is she thirsty? Is she like desperate? Like, why is she doing that? I'm a girl and I get rejected sometimes. Like I feel like the reason there's many reasons why men don't get hit on as much as women, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I think it comes
Okay,
off
but
as confident rather than
I want to continue with this conversation. Can you do this TTS?
When Brian is talking, like saying in general, the average, he is talking about what is likely and really realistic. He isn't talking in absolutes at all. You are still valid, but aren't representative of all women. All women aren't in your position. Okay,
Dank
Brian.
Naked, thank you for the $50
Then how
super chat.
would you want me
can
to
hide it.
approach the conversation since I can only talk about my perspective?
But okay, look, we can talk about, let me ask you a question. How many fingers do humans have?
10,
Oh my
generally.
gosh, this question again.
Listen.
Brian.
But okay.
But
Humans have 10 fingers, correct?
Humans generally have 10 fingers, Brian,
some-
but we are
hold
talking
on,
about the
hold
human
on.
experience,
Yeah, hold
right?
on.